Hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we, is what you're wondering. Well, we've just exited the body shop compound and we're now dropping downhill on an absolutely Sherlock Holmes road. So, Mr. Kenny, if you're sitting on your dad's lap, yes, Mr. Kenny, I'm talking to you. If you're sitting on your Paul's lap and your mum's sitting there thinking, what did he just say? Kalimera, Miss Nicole. Yes, we're dropping down towards the main link road from Mandrea village into Yereskipu, which of course is downtown Paphos, and that's where we're going. So sit back and relax. I'm sure the tea and the coffee will be flowing very, very soonly because, well, Miss Vivian, she's in town. She never has time to sit down, by the way, because of course the breakfast crew is growing. So she has, well, she's had an offer of some help from Miss Nessie. So there you go, Vivian. Miss Nessie's going to help you. She's going to do some cakes and all those kind of things. And I think today we're having walnut cake, aren't we? Because Vivian was saying she was going to cook a walnut cake or make one and whip one up while she's whipping the Payne boys. Yes, Sir Simon, Sir Jeremy, they're going to whip the life out of you. And Nessie's come on board, and of course she has brought Mr. Andrews' shotgun. So if you're not a good boy, she's going to put some well, pellets in your jupper, shall we say. Anyway, Mr. Doug's in town. He's had a good weekend and he's had a little drink, a drinky twos or poos or threes or whatever. He's had a bit of rum and a bit of coke. So don't forget to keep your eye on him, boys, because well, he's looking for a murder victim, isn't he? He's looking for a groom to murder. So I've enlisted the help of another little partner in crime of mine, and of course his name is Mr. Leo. He's got a zapper and he's going to sit next to Mr. Doug, and if Mr. Doug tries to get up, he's going to give him a bit of a zapping, because I'm having a bit of a conference with my business manager, who just happens to be Leo's father, and of course his name is Mr. Richard. There we are. Good morning to you, Richard Davis, Leo Davis, and of course we can't forget Julie Davis, because of course she's in charge of all the health nutritions and all that kind of thing. And we met these people over the, well, the course of last week, shall we say. They flew out to downtown Paphos. They stayed in the Great Hotel, the Alexander the Great Hotel, and they said it was even better than we said that it was. So welcome to the sofa. There we are. Now, why have we got the Robertses in town? That's Paul Roberts, Nicole Roberts, and of course my little friend Mr. Kenny. Well, Mr. Kenny likes to watch Mr. Paul drive around, and of course we're going to invite the mayor, the Gumbaru #1. I don't know how to say his name correctly, to be honest. I don't mean to insult him. I think it's Fedonis. I think that's how you say it. But anyway, he does speak very, very good English. And I know I say some things about the mayor, but we all understand that all mayors, wherever they are in the world, have got a very, very difficult job indeed to do. They have to weigh up the pluses and the minuses and the cons, and they have to get things done. And of course, people like us always like to complain. But I think overall, the mayor, the man in charge of downtown Paphos, I think he's a very, very good man. I think he's an honest man, and I think he's doing a good job for Paphos. And I think his vision for Paphos in the long term will come out very, very good indeed. The old town, well, it's been transformed, not quite finished, but I think if you look back to the old town 4 or 5 years ago and you look to it today, everyone would agree that it is a much, much better place indeed. And I think if we look back on the harbour and we look at it next year, we're going to say exactly the same thing. That's my opinion. So I think he's a very, very good man indeed. And like I say, he speaks very, very good English, but we have enlisted the help of Nicole, because Nicole is a Cretan. I know that sounds like a character out of a Star Trek movie, but she's from Crete, yes. And I used to have a friend from there. He's gone back now, by the way, but he was a star amongst stars, and he said to call him a Cretan. So that's where I got that word from. I don't know if it's true or not, but he said he was a Cretan. So, Nicole, you are a Cretan. There we are. And now you're living in downtown Manchester. So she's going to do the translation when Fedonis talks to us, and then I'm going to do the translation to you, because obviously Mr. Paul, he's been teaching her Mancunian. Not that there's anything wrong with Mancunian, but I understand that our southern friends will not understand the word that she then says. So, quite a complicated show today. We've got a man talking Greek, a Cretan translating into Mancunian, and then I'm going to translate it into, well, a sort of English, shall we say. Anyway, who else is on those sofas? Well, I bet the roads are a bit rough, so I bet so sweet Caroline, she's a lady now, by the way, I bet she's in town, and I bet she's brought Nigel Big Guns, and I'll bet you he's got a copy of the Breitling catalogue under his arm as well, and probably a copy of the new Jag, because he's thinking about getting one of them as well. So good morning to you, Calimera, Calispera. There we are. Anyway, who else is in town? We've got a couple of stars who like a drink of coffee in the morning, and two of those people are, wait for it, Viking. Yes, we only have one Viking Ronnie. He likes a coffee, and the boys have been googling away, that's Sir Simon and Sir Jeremy, and they now know how to make a rather nice Cypriot coffee with a nice chilled glass of water to wash it down. And then there's another boy on the sofa. He's our, what should we call him? He's like a drug pusher. That's what he actually is, and he pushes drugs all over the place because, of course, he is a paramedic, and that means we're talking to the one and only Daniel Mahoney. Good morning, Daniel. How are you? Are you doing all right? He's on his night shifts, although I think he might have finished by now, so he'll be back onto his morning shifts, or day shifts, should we say. And then we've got another partner in crime, a Mr. Jamie. Well, he wibbles and wobbles, and he says he's on the Breakfast Club, and then next thing he says he's eating his lunch, and then he's eating his tea while he watches us, so I assume he is on a night shift, or he likes to lie in on some mornings, whichever it is. But anyway, we welcome you all to the Breakfast Club, and I truly appreciate every single comment. Please comment some more. If there's places you want to go, you tell me and I'll make it happen. That's how it works. Anywhere you want to go in downtown Paphos, all the surrounding areas, let me know, and we'll go and have a mosey on down and stick our nose in and see what's going on. Now, onto that note, if you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe, and why not come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter madness. And if you really want to watch the channel grow, or you want to get your jupper on one of those sofas, why not click through to our about page, where you can consider to buy us a coffee or two, and of course there'll be a big shout out for you. That's how the channel's funded, if you understand. Somebody has got to pay, and that somebody is you. So pop your hand in your pocket and let's change that coffee into coffee in the mornings, and of course into benzene, bits and bobs, insurance, those kind of things, and then it allows us to drive around and make these hopefully interesting, adventurous little videos for you. Where are we now? We're in downtown Yerskipu, and we are wiggling and waggling towards a petrol station down here on the right hand side. Now, why are we going there? Because that's where I've sent my brother to go and get a car washed. So we're going to go and catch him and pick him up, and then they're going to wash the car, and then afterwards we're going to take that car back to a man up in Cathicus. So that's what we do. You understand? We've got a car body shop, we've got a mechanic shop, and on top of all of that, what we like to do is get all the cars washed and cleaned and that kind of thing, because we don't like our customers to have dirty cars. And I don't know where he is, but he doesn't appear to be here. So obviously there's been a change in plans. There we are. As you can see, our videos, as usual, are totally live. Let's have a wiggle around and see if we can find him. So here we go. You've got a guided tour now of the Agape petrol station in downtown Yerskipu. How interesting can it possibly be? So if you want some benzene, the price today is 147.9. There we are. If you want the black stuff, which is the diesel, 157.6. So let's pop down here and see where he might have gone. Perhaps he's popped for a frappe or something. But anyone who knows us understands that my brother never listens to a word that I tell him to do. He goes off and does what he wants to do. Now, I know just around the corner down here is a garage which has got a clapped out old S-Class for sale. So perhaps he has popped to there. So let's get to these traffic lights, and then the next traffic lights, and then we're going to take a left and wiggle down towards the place is known as Paradise. Yes, downtown Cato Paphos. And if you're very lucky, I might take you down there and show you a view across the blue Mediterranean Sea. And I promise you, it's going to take your breath away, because even on a windy, dark, dampish day like today, it's still quite beautiful. I mean, Miss Dawn, Mr. Sean, And if you've got Daisy the Cypriot cat on your lap cuddling up to you, and of course Bo the dog is cuddling up to her, well, if you're curious to know what is the temperature today, it's 15 degrees. And it's quite early in the morning because, of course, this is the Breakfast Club. So there you go. That's the temperature. Now, coming up over here is a car dealership. And if you look very carefully now, there is a dark blue S-Class Mercedes parked there. And I'm going to go and see that one a bit later because that gentleman has brought that one all the way from Limassol for me to see. You see, I've decided to stop all this driving around the world looking for them, find them, and then find someone who happens to know him, perhaps another car dealer, and get that car dealer to talk to that car dealer, and then that car dealer brings that car down to Paphos, and then Paul doesn't have to go so far. And then he gets to see much more car in less time. There we go. There is a method in my madness, but there we go. Right, where are we? Well, just in front of us now is where Leptos is planning on building the Neopolis Smart City. So those fields in front of us, I think you can see the banners now that say Leptos. Well, they're planning on building a big development there with hospitals and schools and all sorts. And they're going to call it the Neopolis City. That's what they're going to call it, Smart City. So it's going to be very smart indeed, that's for sure. Anyway, Nicole, how are you getting on with the mayor? What's he got to say about all these potholes? My God, that sounds like Hindu or something. Anyway, I think she's translated it into Mancunian. Right, she says that he's got a black Mercedes and it's full of tar macadam in the boot, got a whacker plate on the back seat, a rake and a shovel, and every night he pops out and fills one or two, and he's getting paid €50 a manhole. Excellent. Well, if I was him, I'd be doing 4 or 5. Yeah. Okay, right, okay. But of course, he doesn't want to work too hard, so he's doing around half a pothole a week. There we go. So he's forecasting that by 2028, all the roads in downtown Paphos will be absolutely spectacular. Now, here we go. We found the brother. We found him. There we are. Here he is. There we are. He's now just found us, shall we say. There he is. He's just come past us. So we think he understands that we are filming. It looked like a road rage attack. But then I realised it was him, and he's wondering, what is that idiot doing with the blue hat and a pair of sunglasses? That's me, Mr. Paul. Right, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and of course, if you do like what you see, why not hit the like, click subscribe, come back for a little bit more of our madness. This is the Breakfast Club with Mr. Paul, and then we're coming up for one in the afternoon, and that's going to be the Breakfast Club. Well, no, not the Breakfast Club, is it? Sorry, the Tea Time Drive with Mr. Paul. There we go. That's what we're going to call it. So, if you want some more of the madness, don't forget to come back. We're on 3 times a day at the moment. I'm on in the morning. Gracivia LaBouffe comes and joins me in the afternoon. And, of course, I'll be back on at tea time again. Thanks very much for watching. By the way, we're in downtown Paphos. That's the Veronica Hotel on the left-hand side. You've got various restaurants and bars around us. Right in front of us, the building at the very end, is the Olympic Lagoon Resort, a true luxury 5-star resort. And we are doing reviews on their improvements as time goes on, day by day. And stick with us if you want to see what's going on at their spectacular swimming pool. I'm going to say thanks for watching. Cheerio.